Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Totalbiscuit, and many people, of course, asked for more progress updates on Trollobattles, which was intended anyway, so that's really not too much of a problem here. We're going to show you an updated version of Trollobattles with the competitive chaos mode, and joining me is the developer of this particular mod. It goes by the name of Eiviyn. Welcome to the show.
Good evening.
Right, so what's changed with this update? Because it's been a couple of weeks since we put out the first update with a very, very basic version of Trollobattles.
Well, so far, I would like to call this more of a skeleton. I mean, before it was very much a proof of concept. You know, it was an introduction to the concept itself to make sure it worked. Whereas this, it adds a bit more on top of it. It adds some function. You've got a lot of spells at your disposal now. One thing you first mentioned when you brought this up was you wanted to have this huge variety of things that these trolls could do. I suppose you should explain the concept first before I go on with this, right?
Yeah, competitive chaos is the idea that you are trying to assist the player and punish the opponent. And, of course, the other team is doing the same. In this case, what we've got is a 4v4 kind of scenario where two players are playing, and there are, I believe, two teams, at least there should be, if people pick the right teams. There should be two teams of three of these guys with these trollcraft who have energy and can start doing various crazy stuff to their opponents. Now, in this case, what I'm seeing here is that we have no vision of our own whatsoever, so we can't basically map hack for our chosen guy.
Yeah, I chose to limit the observer's vision because, I mean, it just makes sense. You're meant to be an observer. I mean, if you can scout for your ally, that kind of just ruins it in a way.
Yeah, it does.
One of the issues from last time was that we had abilities that were very easy to just take units out of the game. You know, the eject ability that just threw units in the air.
Yeah, just killed them instantly, yeah.
It was pretty crazy. So I've changed most of these abilities so that they're either pretty expensive or dodgeable. Like, if you check the eject now, I don't know which team you're on. Which player did you side with?
I am helping Talu.
Oh, okay. If you check eject now, it will form this nice little glyph on the ground, and it's got this arm time and everything. You can see it grow, and then it's full size, and they have to step on this, and they can see this as well. But more importantly, it can't target workers. I think one of the big things last time was that you could just wipe out a player's work account with all these abilities. It's not something that I thought was very nice.
No, no, it's not.
But it's just impossible to balance when you can target someone's workers. Of course, all these things are subject to change, but still.
So what's going on right? Whoa! Did they just turncoat? Wow! So did you just take control? It's just. Well, that's one way of doing it. So I guess, is that the turncoat ability or something along those lines? What's going on here?
Oh, I think he's mind controlling the structure.
You can mind control structures. All right.
We can mind control it off them and put it back down for him. However, I kind of think that this may be a bit too strong.
Well, if you're going to mind control a structure, I think that's going to be a separate ability that costs a ton of energy. Where is that? I can't even find it on the menu. You're asking to put it back. Yeah. Yeah, so we found some balance issues already there. In fact, we can't even see the CC because it's now out of range. There it is. Okay, Talu's got his CC back. And unfortunately, his base is currently creeped, so he can't actually put it down. Yeah, I think that might be another thing we have to balance as well, is the idea that we have to... I think creep in the main is at this stage of the game is probably bad.
Yeah, I fully agree. I mean, one of the glorious things about being a solo mod developer is that you don't get a chance to develop these things with people who can exploit things, you know?
Yes.
It's like you give a player a selection of tools and they will find some way to break it, you know? And you don't have this luxury as a solo mod developer. And why are his SCVs killing all his base?
Well, he got his Kotlol stole it, so he's killing it. I think actually the Vespene Geyser, no, it's finally receding now. The Vespene Geyser was what caused the creep. So he's killed that and has now gotten rid of it, so he's getting rid of... Unfortunately, Kotlol's actually placed a pylon down there. We didn't see it. Whoa! Did he just hysteria? It looks like he did, didn't he? Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Nice new graphic for that, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I'm liking that. That's pretty cool. The funny thing is, like, I'm looking at some of this time dilation here. I can double the passage of time, so one assumes that... There's a lot of crazy stuff here, so I'm looking through the menus, and now we've got a bunch of different things available. Sudden death. All units in play are reduced to 1 HP. Wow, okay, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, these things are balanced by the insane energy cost, though. I mean, the sudden death thing, I think it has
It's
1,000 energy cost.
Yeah,
I mean, the way I set this up for competitive chaos is that each player has 3 energy that they distribute between all their trolls. Say if you've got 1 troll on your side, he gets 3 energy per second. If you've got 2, he gets 1.5 energy per second. Either way, it's always capped at 3. So if you want to get these super powerful abilities that cost like 1,000 energy, you're going to have to wait a long time and probably utilize this this energy transfer ability, the thing you mentioned.
Yeah, that was quite interesting because I'm not actually seeing any of the other trolls on the map here. Is that intentional?
No, it is not.
That's a bug. Okay, I just wanted to check that out there because
they can't see us either. The opposing players cannot see the trolls at all. I wanted to make them feel like they weren't part of the game, you know, like they were real observers. I mean,
they're basically deities, you know, floating in the air. They're the evil gods of this mode. Yeah,
they've got no minimap value if you like. You can only see yourself on this this pane that's created for you. There's no flyer helper for them. I tried to make them feel separate. But as to whether it's been pulled off or not is...
The Glyph of Bane. Attaches a Baneling to the face of a target unit. Well, it's probably time to help these a little bit out there. Okay, wow, that actually has a Baneling on its back. Wow, that's pretty nice. A Glyph of Nuke. Let's see if we can eject the Zealots. We're going to give that a shot. No, he's standing... The thing is, so he's actually seeing that as well, isn't he?
Yeah, you can see the Glyph.
Alright, let's see. What could I maybe do here? Hysteria... Unfortunately, that's also affected the other guy, so I'm not sure if that's really helped him out too much. I may have screwed that up a little bit for Talu there.
Yeah, I'm thinking some of these abilities are a bit too much.
Yeah, I've taken control of one of the Zealots, so I've been able to... Baneling Rain? What? What the hell? Right, so one has to assume Baneling Rain is fairly powerful. Am I correct in that assumption?
I tested it against the AI. You know, these AIs are my only friends. These are the things that do all my testing, and they never get bored of these Baneling Rains and stuff. And unfortunately, they were hopeless. they were even more hopeless at surviving it than Kotlol. Sorry, Talu.
I don't even know myself, and he's actually one. I'm going to force field this sentry outside of the base. There we go. Oh my! This is what happens when you let a pylon get into your main. It's really as simple as that. This had nothing to do with the game at all. What the?
Oh dear, there's a nuke on that building.
There's a nuke on the building? And also there's this big giant-ass purple shield over Taloin's base. What is that? What's that?
That's dilation.
That's
the thing that halves the passage of time in this bubble. Like everything inside it will operate at half speed.
Fair enough.
Well, that's him gone, isn't it? You know, I had hoped this match would last some time.
Well, I think we might have to do another one, honestly. I'm going to go with... Yeah, I think we're going to have to do another one after this, because... yeah, that's... Needless to say, development has its own set of unique challenges, including balance, and balance. That kills everything, wow.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was discussing this with a friend of mine, and the first thing he said is good luck balancing that. And I was like, well, it's okay. I'm not being paid to balance it. It's all right. Just to make it.
Yeah, exactly. Balance is something we've got to work out through playtesting. Baneling Rain, yes. Funnily enough, Baneling Rain, actually, some of these don't have the right kind of the right kind of tooltips and things like that, but obviously that's going to be sorted out anyway. But I like the fact that it's now kind of sorted out into categories so that it's easier to find these various different abilities here.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, I've left a lot of them blank. I've only filled in about half of most of these categories because I went through the glorious Team Liquid thread that's on this mod, and I
Hmm.
picked my favorite abilities out of all of this. In fact, this is something I wanted to mention earlier. I mean, that thread was so useful in finding entertaining abilities. Because I mean, that's what these are meant to be at the end
Yeah,
of
it's
it.
supposed to
They're
be
meant to be
funny.
entertaining. They're a bit too strong. They're not
Some,
entertaining when
yeah,
the player can't even survive, which is where the balance comes in. But for now, they're meant to be entertaining, and that thread was so useful.
yeah.
But more importantly, I stumbled across some guy who said, why don't you let players be able to sacrifice their units or build an altar or something to their god? And I thought about this, and I thought, well, that's kind of like a bit of a self-balancing thing when you think about it.
All right, so we're going to go into another game, and Eiviyn, why don't you explain the sacrifice mechanic that we're trying to implement into this?
All right, so competitive chaos, as you can see, I mean, it says it's a 4v4, but you can have any number of players on each team. You could have a 2v6 or something. The reason it's set up this way, I mean, it could change, but the reason it's set up this way is to let you play with your friends. I mean, one of the things you said at the start was you wanted this to be something you would play among your friends, okay? So the sacrifice mechanic is a way to balance out uneven teams. I'll just vote for someone so the game starts. Right, okay. So let's say you're 2v6, okay? That
Hmm.
that team with one troll against the team with five trolls. That's not even, is it? I mean,
No.
even after the energy mechanic, you're still gonna have so much more you know, five players is better than one.
Yeah.
So there's this sacrifice mechanic. And this is passive, and I think it will probably end up being unique to competitive chaos, whereby every unit that is lost by your player, I mean, you can see at the start of the game that every troll gets assigned a player. You pick which player you want to side with,
Yep.
and every unit that they lose, you get energy equal to 10% of their health. I mean, those are just numbers; they could change. But let's say he's got a Thor, and the Thor gets killed, then all their trolls gets 40 energy distributed between them. You know, if there's two trolls, they get 20 each. So it's a way to stop that one player that's like kicking the other player's ass.
Yeah, exactly. Because it snowballs at that point, doesn't it? Which is fine in a normal game of StarCraft 2. That's okay, but this is designed for larking about, really. It's designed for fun. So there is a bit of balance there. I'm liking this. This little mechanic at the start is pretty cool as well, because it does let you get actively involved, even at the start where you don't know where your opponent is. This empower ability. These guys, it looks like it makes them mine faster.
Oh yeah, it just doubles their timescale, which if you're not familiar with the editor, it basically just makes them operate at twice the speed as every other unit.
That's fair enough. Yeah, the what we should point out at this juncture is that the energy amounts and stuff are definitely not balanced. This was something that I was saying to our developer right here, that the energy, we feel that you definitely shouldn't be building up energy as fast as you are, and that's clearly not that we're getting too much right now. So being able to constantly empower probes and stuff like that, that's kind of okay, because you know, you're empowering one miner for 30 energy, so you can cast a few of those, but it's a little, the idea of just being able to dump down, say, a nuke for 50 or whatever, it's a little bit excessive, but that's all stuff that will be worked out in the balance.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, one good thing about this test is that I've seen which abilities are overpowered, and I can just change their energy cost. I mean, they'll stay in the game, but as you say, a nuke for 50 energy, bit too much.
Yeah, it is a bit too much. I mean, I liked what you did with the Baneling mechanic, because this is the first thing that we talked about in the first video, was these abilities are hilarious, but they're dickish, and they get very old very fast, because you can't do anything about them. So the Baneling mechanic, I feel, is pretty cool, because with that, it's like, well, the Baneling is going to drop off the unit when it dies, as you can see. So Talu right there has a Baneling on top of that Marine, but if that Marine doesn't die, then that Baneling is just going to stay there.
Yeah.
So,
oh.
and in fact, that's an interesting way of getting rid of it as well. So someone transmogrified the Banelinged Marine, and now Talu is able to mine those minerals from the mineral line. That's a pretty cool mechanic. That's a nice little bit of dynamic there.
So yeah, I mean, this Baneling thing I thought was a pretty fantastic idea. I mean, these multi-sided abilities that I think are the best choices. I mean, this is one that I stole from that Team Liquid thread. Thank you very much, by the way, Team Liquid. I mean, imagine, right, having a group of Zerglings and you stick a Baneling on top of one of the Zerglings. I mean, suddenly that Zergling force is a whole lot more deadly. Or imagine sticking a Baneling on top of a group of Marines. Suddenly, your opponent is probably going to gun straight for that Marine with a Baneling on its head, so that they all explode. You know, these three-dimensional abilities rather than two-dimensional click dead kind of thing, like the old eject was.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think that the guys on Talu's side just cloaked the building, so we can't do anything to it at the moment, but they can still see it. That's neat.
Oh, they attached a nuke to the assimilator.
Oh, there's a nuke on the assimilator as well. When does these don't go off. Oh, I'm seeing what's about to happen. I know what we should do. We should empower that Marine so it can shoot just a little bit faster. Where is it? Where's empower? There we go.
Oh.
That's it. Let's power that Marine up. This is the best. All right. Go on. Finish it off. That itself is fantastic. Oh, God. But that's cool because it shows the potential of how various abilities can be combined. Because usually you think, oh, Empower, that's just for buffing your guy. But in that case, we can use Empower to actually screw over the opponent by buffing him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I really wanted to see those two abilities you used earlier. You know, the big purple shield thing that halves the time of all the units inside. I'd really love to see some huge
dilation
inside this half-time scale bubble.
Does that actually work for everybody, or?
Yeah, it works for everyone. It just slows the game.
That's cool. This is what I'm thinking of possibilities with that actually, because if you position that correctly, you can actually buff your chosen army and screw over the other one because it's not inside the bubble. But of course, he can move into the bubble and maybe force his opponent outside of the bubble, because if there's a lot of AoE going off, for instance, maybe there's a bunch of Banelings coming at them. He might have to run out of the bubble because otherwise he'll detonate. So
yeah. And one other thing you talked about last week was these voiced abilities. Now these are temporary. I'll just use one now. They've got a sound file attached. I don't know whether it'll. Oh, someone beat me to it. But anyway, as you can see, minimap and alerts disabled. Okay, neither player has access to their minimap. I hope. They shouldn't do. And also, all their alerts are disabled. So if you imagine two players on 3 bases, suddenly they don't have a minimap or alerts. They're gonna, I think, be pretty interesting to watch. But furthermore, you mentioned that these kind of abilities that you wanted to voice, you know, you give some cryptic signal where you overlay the voice. I mean, there's some voice on these anyway. I don't know whether your recording picked that up.
I hope it did. It should have, yeah. Oh wow. Unfortunately, I just warped the base to make him mine faster. The Reapers are now attacking twice as quickly. Oh dear. It just shut down the fleet beacon, in fact. But that's cool. Once again, I like the fact that a lot of these abilities are double-edged swords. That's definitely what we're looking for, I think, in terms of making the abilities interesting and making the battles more dynamic.
Yeah, indeed. I wish I'd have cloaked those Reapers.
Yeah, really. Oh, there's a cloaked void ray going across the map right now.
And thank you for telling me.
There you go. I'm gonna go back that up actually. It's still
void ray.
That's a bit of a dick move. Admittedly, a missile turret can deal with that, but yeah, there is a cloaked void ray and a cloaked empowered void ray, I might add. Oh dear, there's an eject glyph underneath it. Oh no, never mind.
Is he gonna notice though?
Oh, he's out of the way. It's okay. It looked like an eject glyph. I think it was. Oh! I guess he didn't. Oh. All right.
Oh, poor guy.
Space indeed.
So this ability reverses all ground units to air units, and all air units to be ground units. I think.
Which one is that? Which one's that?
This graviton flux.
Oh, graviton flux.
Has it affected your side as well?
Yeah. The probes are flying right now, which is interesting.
Yeah, and if your guys got any void rays, they'll
actually become ground units.
I'm ground. Oh, hello.
Yep, you're back. Don't worry. Yes, your internet is getting fixed shortly. But yeah, as you were saying, the air units become ground units, the ground units become air units, so you could have... I assume at that point, let's say you guys have a bunch of marauders, your Void Ray now counts as a ground unit, so you could shoot the Void Ray, right? Why? What the hell?
Flying marauders. Yeah, absolutely.
You can do it. Cool. So, hang on, can we cloak a mothership? Oh, shit. Yeah. Yeah, that's scary, quite frankly. Whoa, hang on. Right, what's going on over here? Let's see what I can do. Maybe I can... If they stick around, I can eject them, but they probably won't. There's a Void Ray moving in anyway, so I guess we'll be alright there. Maybe if we... Oh, I almost Banelinged that one. Then I could have had to kill the other.
This isn't fair. My guy's not doing anything. Come on! Come on, build something!
Motivate him, damn it. That's what you're supposed to be doing. And that's actually a point that we're making, is you can communicate. Because you can't, as an observer, you can't scout, because that's not in the game, you can safely communicate with your team. And what we're trying to do eventually, once the energy is properly balanced, is that all of this really big stuff is it's gonna involve a decision made by your team. So, for instance, I can transfer energy, and I'm not actually sure which button that is now, but I can transfer energy to one guy, so we can all stack it up, and then, oh my god, that oh wow, apparently it just got slowed down in the middle of nowhere. That's insane. Where the hell did it go? It's vanished.
Oh, I hysteria'd it, but there's only the mothership there. I thought there'd be more units underneath the mothership, but there's not.
You hysteria'd the mothership? Yeah, that's why I can't see it then, I guess. Fair enough. But yeah, what was I saying? I've completely lost the plot. But yeah, the idea is you communicate between your team. It's like, right, well, this is what we can do and you talk to your player and say, right, well, you will go and attack, and we will use this ability. And in order to do that, it's because it's probably going to be quite powerful, you will donate energy to one specific person, and they will then cast it. You share your energy, you channel it into one dude, and then that guy can actually cast, and he can use that ability. And it requires a degree of communication in order to be as effective. If you're working on your own, you're not supposed to be anywhere near as effective.
Why is that marauder shooting that bunker?
I don't know. I can't see that because you're on the other team. But one has to assume that someone is mucking about with them. But...
but yes. So what else do we have? Oh, these can I say mindfuck? I mean,
sure, go for it.
I don't know. I don't know what other words.
I care not. I care not.
These abilities that mess with your head, you know, like disabling control groups, or my favorite, this unofficial all-in one that replaces a player's whole control group bar with workers. You know, it assigns all their workers to all their control group.
So basically, if you were to pull that off at the right time when an attack was rolling out, you could force all of the workers off the mineral line.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, these things are completely stoppable. You know, you could just not do it, or you could notice it before it happens. But these things were mixed with like a cryptic overlay by you. You know, you said you were going to voice a few of these abilities.
Yes, I'll voice quite a lot of them. Yeah.
I mean, you could imagine some cryptic clue as to what's just happened, and then a player like, oh, I wonder what that means. Oh, I'll just send my group 3 over to kill this guy's base. What? My SCVs? Why are my SCVs there?
Yeah, that would be absolutely fantastic. I think they've retaken control of the Banelinged probe that's over there. Taluan is getting a whole new perspective. What is happening?
Oh, this was another one I stole from Team Liquid. This randomizes the player's camera angle. I saw this a while ago where people looked at the back of an extractor and they were like, oh my god, there's like a backside to this extractor. That's so amazing. And I saw that and I thought, wow, you know, that's kind of cool how people look at StarCraft and they only see one side of every single building. The game is in 3D, but you only see 2 dimensions all the time. So this perspective ability is a bit of a play to that as well. You know, you get to see the other side of the buildings while being irritated.
He's irritated. There's no real doubt about that. I was half tempted to Baneling every single one of those guys. It's just, I want it to happen right now. And now, I would, if I was typing to Kotl, I'd be screaming, my god, get an observer out so I can actually do stuff to the opponent. Oh, wonderful. It's a little dark.
Oh, has that removed every bit of vision on the map? That is not intended.
Pretty much, yeah.
See, my AI buddies, they didn't have this problem. No, it can't have. I can see these carriers.
Yes, Cliff of Nuke! Cliff of Nuke! Oh, mineral line is gone. That's what I'm talking about.
I can't see what's happening. Oh, now I can. Oh,
yeah, I
hello,
can barely
mothership.
see a thing. It's so... Oh, the nuke went off on the bunker and killed the mothership. Oh, man.
Oh, I'm beginning to regret using that fog ability now. Anyway, another thing I wanted to mention is that these as I was saying, these mindfuck abilities, they all share this global cooldown. Like, you can't disable someone's control groups and then 3 seconds later disable them again.
Yeah, that would be ridiculous.
That would be just annoying as hell.
Yeah.
So if you check every single one of your environmental and your troll face abilities, they're all on cooldown now, so you can't use them.
Yeah.
And this is global for every player.
I'm currently just trying to heal up our units here in the center. Seems to be working fairly well.
I wish Taluyan would attack.
Talu's been stuck on 2 bases this entire time, and Kotlol's got 3, one of which is the gold, which makes things easier. The fog ability lasts for ages, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, it does. Oh, there we go.
It is. Yeah. I'm sorry, I've got to have to press the Baneling Rain button again.
Oh, one thing I should mention about this is that these banelings, they're very worker friendly. They don't hurt workers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
because that would be ridiculous.
It was just impossible to survive it. I watched my AI friends try and survive this baneling rain time and time again, and they just got obliterated by it. Oh, boom! I didn't think the nukes would be set off by the baneling rain, which would wipe out all the workers.
Oh, that happened. Okay. Did that happen in Talu's base?
Yeah, it did. He's got 3 workers remaining now, and all his base is on fire.
I think this very well might be a GG here, honestly. I think our guy's got the upper hand at this point.
Oh, yeah.
There's banelings riding all of the carriers, which to me seems fairly ridiculous. But
yeah, some of these abilities might just be a little bit overpowered. Just a tiny bit.
Just a smidge, yes. Sorry, we've just time accelerated the gold mineral line, which, as it turns out, is quite good. So, yeah, wonderful things happen. But I do like the fact that also that is, once again, double-edged sword ability, because if someone goes to harass that mineral line, their guys attack twice as quickly. So you can obliterate the mineral line very rapidly.
Oh, yeah. Some Reapers would love that, I think.
I think like if we can do that with pretty much every ability and make it so that there is a potential downside if it's used improperly, then that'll be brilliant. So, and that's definitely the kind of thing we need to be looking to do. Vendetta is running off with one of our probes. I'm not having this. This is unacceptable. Where's Transmogrify? Oh, it's all right. It didn't quite get to the base, so it's not too big a deal.
That seems a bit harsh. He's stealing a probe, so you're going to kill the probe.
Well, pretty much, yeah. That sounds like a planet. Damn it, I don't have vision. Seriously, I'm not going to slap Kotlol around for not building observers. Like, oh, I want to do something to him, and I can't because I can't see anything. So, I think maybe it might be... I'm trying to think, like, maybe a personal radar scan that costs a lot of energy and only reveals a small part of the vision for that one player might be worth having, because I think maybe it could get really frustrating, especially maybe if you're supporting a Zerg player who can't really scout.
Oh, but I was going to say I think Zerg would have a real advantage here, because, you know, of all the creep chums and stuff that you can
the
just
creep would
glide
help,
along.
yeah. But it's difficult until you get up to, I suppose, lair tech and start getting overseers. It's difficult to see inside the opponent's base because it's too easy to shut everything down. Once you've walled off, you're not getting anything from the ground. You can sack an overlord, but it's still quite slow and potentially can be shot down there. I just think maybe it might be good to have a very small scan that costs a lot of energy that only reveals the area for that one specific troll player, so that he can maybe pull off... Maybe it only lasts a couple of seconds, so he's got to be very, very quick with what he does. Oh my, what the hell?
Or you can have your ally scan by begging him to.
Well, these guys Protoss, he hasn't got an observer. I don't think he even built a robo, so it's not really helping all that much. Alright, you know what? Where's that sudden death button? Oh, I haven't got it yet. I'm just I'm just gonna Baneling in the middle of this fight because that seems sensible.
Oh,
wow.
Baneling.
Horrible.
Can you see those things on those pylons, by the way?
Pylons? Pylons? Oh, there's nuke markers on the pylons? Oh, God. Oh, no. That's gonna end up... Oh, dear, that one's almost gone. That one's almost gone.
Tell him to repair them with his probes. Come on.
You can't repair with probes. What the hell?
Really?
What version of StarCraft have you been playing lately?
Oh, I don't know. I'm
You're a modder, aren't you? You have all sorts of crazy ideas.
I'm Diamond Terran, you know. I don't know anything about the game.
You
Really?
know hell of a lot more than I do, I'd say that for a fact. I was going to put time dilation. There we go, carriers. Have fun. Oh, actually, never mind. That slowed them down. Whoops. I meant warp. I meant warp. One of the carriers just vanished for no reason. Ah, well.
Where did that carrier go?
I can't tell you. Honestly, I could not tell you. Oh, well, folks. That I think is a look at the progress that has been made with Trollobattles. This was a look at... Is it competitive chaos? Yeah, it's competitive chaos, I think. Or is it cooperative? I can't even remember anymore. I always got this wrong. Every time I describe this mod, I always mix up competitive and cooperative chaos. Two of the three modes that we have there. But, yeah, this is a look at it. And there's Eiviyn's connection going again. Sadly, his internet is a little dodgy. But hopefully you've enjoyed this look at Trollobattles. And we will bring you updates as we continue to update the actual map and balance and bring in new features, abilities, and so on and so forth.
Saved.
My name has been Totalbiscuit. I will see you next time.